Welcome to another quarterly portfolio update. If you are stopping by for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. In this video, I will share with you how much I invested in my taxable account during the third quarter of 2024, how many shares I bought, and the value of my portfolio at the end of the quarter, which was September 30th. I will also show you how much dividend I received for the quarter. But before I continue, a quick disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing is not financial advice. Before you invest in anything, please do your own research and make sure that you only invest in things that you understand. With that being said, I will dive right into my quarterly portfolio update. I will start with a quick recap of my Q2 2024 portfolio to show you the value of the portfolio and how many shares I had before the beginning of Q3 2024. The total value of my portfolio at the end of Q2 2024 was $68,303.35. $68,132.32 was the market value of my investments, and $171.03 was a cash amount. At the end of Q2, my portfolio was up $15,532.10. This was plus 29.53%. These are my holdings: 2 Vanguard ETFs and 2 BlackRock ETFs. VCN is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the Canadian market. I had 100 shares of VCN at the end of Q2 2024. VFV is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. This is the Canadian version of VOO. I had 270 shares of VFV at the end of Q2 2024. XEQT is a BlackRock ETF. This is an all-in-one equity ETF which holds Canadian equities, US equities, developed market equities outside of North America, and emerging market equities. If you want to hold a single equity ETF which is globally diversified, you might consider looking into XEQT or its Vanguard equivalent, VEQT. I had 460 shares of XEQT at the end of Q2 2024. XOU is a BlackRock ETF that tracks the US total stock market, and I had 252 shares of XOU at the end of Q2 2024. I will now show you how much I invested during the third quarter of 2024 and how many shares I bought. I only bought 2 shares of VCN in Q3. The cost per share was $45.89. The total cost, $91.78. This was 4% of the amount that I invested in Q3. I bought 10 shares of VFV. The cost per share was $133.64. The total cost, $1,336.35. This was 55% of the amount that I invested in Q3. I bought 14 shares of XEQT. The cost per share was $31.51. The total cost, $441.12. This was 18% of the amount that I invested in Q3. I bought 10 shares of XOU. The cost per share was $55.23. The total cost, $552.31. And this was 23% of the amount that I invested in Q3. In total, I bought 36 shares, all the ETFs combined. And the amount that I invested in Q3 was $2,421.56. This is $362.95 more than the amount that I invested in Q2. As you can see, in Q2, I invested $2,058.61, and in Q3, $2,421.56. The difference is $362.95. The total equity of my portfolio at the end of Q3 was $74,225.71. $74,069.44 was the market value of my investments. $156.27 was a cash amount. At the end of Q3, my portfolio was up $19,047.66. This was plus 34.62%. As of the end of Q3 2024, which was September 30th, I had 102 shares of VCN. This was 6.72% of the market value of my portfolio. 280 shares of VFV. This was 52.08% of the market value of my portfolio. 474 shares of XEQT. This was 20.75% of the market value of my portfolio. And 262 shares of XOU. This was 20.24% of the market value of my portfolio. All right, I will now show you how much dividend I received for the quarter. In order for you to receive an upcoming dividend payment, you have to be the shareholder on the record date. I had 102 shares of VCN on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 30 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VCN was $30.44. This was 14% of the dividend amount that I received in Q3. I had 279 shares of VFV on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 36 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VFV was $99.51. This was 46% of the dividend amount that I received in Q3. I had 470 shares of XEQT on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 9 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XEQT was $44.18. This was 20% of the dividend amount that I received in Q3. I had 261 shares of XUU on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 16 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XUU was $42.54. And this was 20% of the dividend amount that I received in Q3. The total amount of dividend that I received in Q3 2024 was $216.67. This is $54.30 less than the amount that I received in Q2. As you can see, in Q2, I received $270.97, and in Q3, $216.67. The difference is minus $54.30. Although I had more shares in Q3 than I had in Q2, the total dividend amount that I received in Q3 was less than the amount that I received in Q2. This is because most of the ETFs paid a lower dividend amount per share in Q3 than they did in Q2. You can see on this dividend payout chart that XEQT paid 9 cents in Q3 versus 22 cents in Q2. This is a decrease of 57.66%. Usually, XEQT pays a higher dividend amount per share in Q2 and Q4 than it does in Q1 and Q3. So I expect to receive a higher dividend amount per share for XEQT in Q4, which will be at the end of December 2024. As for VCN, it paid 30 cents in Q3 versus 35 cents in Q2. This is a decrease of 14.82%. You can also see that VFV paid 36 cents in Q3 versus 38 cents in Q2. This is a decrease of 5.33%. Only XUU paid a higher dividend amount per share in Q3 than it did in Q2. It paid 16 cents in Q3 versus 13 cents in Q2. This is an increase of 25.38%. I will share my Q4 dividend update in 3 months. In the meantime, I will stay the course and keep investing consistently. All right, feel free to leave a comment below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time with another update. Peace out.